investing in her, from Angel to Series A. This session puts the spotlight on women-led ventures and the investment journeys that shape their growth. On the panel, we have Mili Srivastava, Head of Business Development, Diageo India, Ashutosh Kumar Jha, General Partner and CEO, Expert Dojo, Swapna Gupta, Partner, Avana Capital, Utkarsh, Founder, Chief Technology Advisor at Exemplify.tech. Moderating this panel is Dr. Shraddha Danani, Founder and Co-Founder, Independent Director at Vibin and Avo. Dr. Danani is a digital transformation leader, tech entrepreneur, and advocate for women in technology and entrepreneurship. Recognized as the Digital Transformation Woman Leader of the Year, she has built a distinguished career spanning corporate innovation and venture creation, known for uplifting early stage founders through strategic guidance. Welcome on stage, please.
Thank you. Thank you for the warm introductions. And before we start, I would like to request my panelists to introduce themselves because they are all amazing leaders and experts in their domain. We'll start with Utkarsh.
Hey, I'm Utkarsh. Industry calls me UT. A very short intro would be that having spent more than 2 decades being a technologist, my mission is just to elevate tech in small, big ways in the country. That's about it.
Great.
Now it's working. Hi everyone, I'm Millie Srivastava. I head the business development division for Diageo India. So I represent the corporate venture side of things and not the classic VC that normally we know about. Very few people know about what CVCs do. So happy to have a discussion around it as we go ahead.
Yes, we will come to that point. We want audience to know what CVCs do. Yeah. So
Hello everyone, I'm Swapna Gupta. I'm a partner at Avana Capital. We invest in technology companies solving for sustainability in energy, supply chain, mobility, agriculture. So happy to see a lot of founders here. In my past life, I used to lead Qualcomm Ventures investments in India and have really seen technology firsthand, been part of Grace Hopper for many years, and good to see the community growing.
awesome.
My name is Ashutosh Kumar. I run an early stage venture capital firm called Expert Dojo. It's a California, US based firm. We just launched a 45 million dedicated fund in India. So I just moved back from LA to the world of beauty and chaos here in Bangalore. But we have been investing in India. We have 30 plus portfolio. In fact, one of our portfolio founder, Nida, who is on the organizing committee, she only invited me here. So glad to be part of here, and thanks for invitation. Looking forward to conversation.
Thank you. It's such a privilege to moderate this panel, which is having such expert from industry. If you see Utkarsh, who comes from a deep tech background, Millie, who is part of CVC, and Swapna, who is coming from sustainability, but women-led initiatives also, and San Francisco Bay Area investor from here.
Silicon Valley. Sorry, not Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley investor
Beach,
in the
beach,
panel.
beach.
Yes, sorry. So yeah, any entrepreneurship conversation cannot be complete without getting investors' perspective on this. And today we will do a deep dive into investors' mindset when they are looking at women-led ventures. So let's start from first and foremost, crystal ball gazing. Let's understand what lies in future. What trends do you see where investor money is going to go in next 2 to 5 years? Starting with Utkarsh again.
Yeah. So I being a technologist and obviously all around us, you see the AI wave, buzz, whatever you call it. I think any investment that we make today, I'm typically not an investor. I invest more of my time than money. For me, it's about in what ways can you reimagine the future, whether it's 2 years down the line, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. Unless you can reimagine the future, I think no investment from my pocket would go in.
Okay, and what trends do you see in this reimagination?
I think if you look at us, right, we as humans, our behavior, our orientation in terms of how we look at the vicinity around us everything is undergoing a change. Whether it's our job profile, how we interact with our environment, how we interact with our digital devices, how we interact with any stakeholder around it, whether it's a shopkeeper, whether it's a mobile phone, everything needs to go through some fundamental shift. And if I can't reimagine that, and I'm still thinking in terms of cookie cutter business ideas, where to grow the money and where the big bucks lie, I don't think that's going to be any wiser.
So when we keep saying from last 5-7 years that world is in VUCA stage and things are changing, everything is non-predictable, you are saying that's going to intensify?
Yeah, it will intensify a lot more. I think as a country, we need to do a lot more, and that's what I said that I want to elevate tech in some small ways here. I recently went to Valley, and I was in for a talk. I went into a room which was set up as a surprise element for me in one of the universities. Um, I went in, and there was a robot almost the size of my elder kid. When I entered in, I had no expectation as to what the experience would be. I entered in, and the robot just turned around as if it was a human and said, "Hey there," and started having a dialogue with me, looking at my facial expressions. I was in for a shock. My eyes were dilated. I had a smirk in my face, and so on. So it was only reacting to my emotions. So if physical intelligence, physical devices, and intelligence powering it is in some shape and form taking place, emotional intelligence is getting wired into a robot, I can just begin to see how that academic research can come out in the open and transform things around it. A quick extrapolation could be that, people who are at old age and they need some nursing,
Absolutely.
maybe it's a companionship that you're looking at, a nurse who is always around someone in need, as simple as that. Or if I don't have any friend, I mean, someone to talk to. I mean, those are the patterns I believe will definitely change, and you don't need human to human interaction.
Oh, wow. That's going to be exciting times ahead, right? Millie, what are your thoughts on how beverages industry is transforming?
So for us, it's antithesis to what we do. Youngsters and Gen Zs, which is a good trend, they are, so I represent also, I come from the alco-bev industry. And I'll just give you a little context. I think 5 years ago, you're not recording this, right?
It is getting recorded.
Oh, okay.
You want us to stop?
That's okay. That's okay. I'll tone it down. So 5 years ago, if I looked at some of the segments which we invest in, non-alcs, RTDs like flavored sodas. So I don't think there were takers for it in the industry, in the spirits industry or the alcobev industry, because it's just antithesis to who we are. Now, if you see, for all of us, I'm sure, us for sure, we have started investing. In fact, we invested in brands. We've already started investing in brands that the category itself was a no-go. So all I would say is that if you see Gen Z, we always talk, when I joined the industry 7 years ago, everybody was talking about millennials, how they'll change the world. Then came your Gen Zs, and they were like, okay, 1 level, 10 levels above the millennials in their thinking or challenging everything that was around. And now wait till the alphas join. So just wait. All of us who are in the consumer business or running companies and looking at younger generation joining the workforce, I'm like, oh gosh, it's going to so dramatically change. They are going to break all the rules. So all traditional companies like ours who were sitting on thought processes to say, because our industry survives over thousands of years, no, it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen in the future. So
Gen Alpha is going to make it 6-7?
Oh, absolutely. We will be forced to reinvent ourselves probably every 6 months. So if you see our iconic brands, our most iconic brand is in this 206th year. All the top 10 iconic brands are 100, 150 year plus. So it's not going to happen as we go ahead in time.
Interesting times. Swapna, what trends do you see in sustainable sector where you are operating?
I think it's more than trends. I think it's massive disruption happening all across, right? I was talking to someone outside, and the person was mentioning, "ये तो कितने ज़माने से हो रहा है." And I was saying the problem today is जो इतने ज़माने से हो रहा है, that needs to change, right? The air we breathe, the water we drink, the way the building is lighted, the way supply chains are. So I think for us at Avana and what we are seeing with entrepreneurs also, I think entrepreneurs have become extremely ambitious and they're not okay with status quo. By that, what I mean is, what they're saying is, look, the way these lights work, it's inefficient. Let me change that. Or plastic was a great boon for the society. Let me change that. The way we commute through roads and Bangalore traffic is a great example. All of us lose our BP in the process. But point is, why can't we just do aerial mobility? And 10 years hence, it's not impossible. Utkarsh, you were talking about Valley, right? The last Waymo drive, I was like, oh my God, the world has changed. And world has changed for good, right? Imagine if that happens to world like ours, right? So I think sustainability is just one part of it, which says that if you're going to create new technologies for future, let's not do it how we did in the past. Let's just be more efficient, let's just be more thoughtful, and let's just think everything from the point of energy. And I think today, I think the only parameter or currency remaining in the world is energy. If we could conserve on energy, I think we all would probably leave the planet a better place than where we started.
Absolutely. And with the new generation, which is sustainably conscious and aware generation coming in the work stream and taking decision, I think this is going to be more very much mainstream and not just good to do or nice to do kind
Yeah,
of
I
activity.
mean, it has to make money. I don't think, I mean, there is a space for not for profit and NGO, which is all great. But I think anything at scale cannot happen if we don't think about it as a business model.
Revenue generation, yes. Ashutosh, what trends do you see coming from Valley and now in Bangalore, looking at both the worlds? What trends do you see which are coming in next 2 to 5 years where entrepreneurs can start betting on and start building for that future?
So first of all, we are in Silicon Beach, not the Valley. So Santa Monica is in LA. It's called Silicon Beach, by the way.
Okay.
So we had that
Silicon Beach. Okay.
But now we are in the valley here in India. It's called Silicon Valley of India. So we are glad to be here. Let me give you a background of Expert Dojo a little bit. So we have invested in 300 companies globally, 40 companies in Africa, women-led, black founder, black women, black men. Here in India, we have 30 plus investment as well. We have like, go to any continent, country, we have a portfolio company sitting there. So after seeing all these 300 investment, the trend that we are seeing is called Indians. So Indians are rising right now. Even in the US, if you see, Indians used to be the CTO back then. We as an Indians here in the India used to be the back office of a lot of US-based companies, but no more. Now the trend is shifting, right? So Indians are becoming the CEOs in India. That is happening in India as well. And here in India, we are building the unicorns. If you see the unicorns being built last 5 years or 15 years maybe, 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, 100. If you compare that with Africa, which is equally developing at the same time, probably 20 or not even 20, right? So the trend, I would say, Indians. And when it comes to the industry and all, there's a lot of conversation that I'm seeing right now in deep tech, in AI and stuff like that. And as an Indians here in India as well, we are becoming the strategic hub now. We are starting here and thinking globally. So I think there is a lot of opportunity. Being the youngest country in the world, we are like the average age is 28, 29. So seeing all these trends, we thought, okay, we need to open up in India, and that's why we decided to open the first office outside the US, that is in India, right? And there is a lot of opportunity. So if you can, and actually this trend has been, it's not, it happened overnight basically. Our moms actually, they send us to the engineering school, the medical school, right? So go to any family here in India, there is one engineer sitting there as well. So we are very much analytical driven. So all those hustles is now going to speak up after Shark Tank, the revolution that came. So this is the right time to build in India. And I mean, talking about industry, you find the problem and you set the trends basically. So I would rather say pretty much all the industries trending, there is opportunity everywhere. It depends what exactly the problem you are solving. And if you understand the problem, that's the set. So you need to set the trends rather.
Okay, so like the way Utkarsh said, it's going to be VUCA world. So all industries are anyways blurring out, and new opportunities are coming up. So if you can visualize that, you can build in that. India is a good market to be in. So with that context, now let's move to women entrepreneurs and founders who want to build some venture. So what qualities they display or what cues you pick up, which makes you think, yes, I want to bet in this? Starting with you now this time.
So coincidentally, like 42% of our portfolio are women-led founders. Like that happen incidentally, coincidentally, whatever you call it, because we are not biased about genders, colors, or anything like that. If you are a badass entrepreneur who can execute things, come to us, right? Talking about the women, I mean, like, this is the right time to India, being a woman, being a man, like, to build the company as well. So you need to be conscious what exactly you are building. And if you talk about like what exactly we said, I mean, like, don't follow the Western formula that has been, discussed and written in the book. I can name it on the recording, like lean startup techniques or stuff like that. Those formula are outdated now. The world has moved on. Like, it's been 30 years, we are still following MVP, like the word called MVP, or lifetime value and stuff like that. Start thinking from customer centric point of, like, have your mindset as a like, think from the customer centric from day zero, rather than just building the MVP. You not say that, okay, I'm going to date someone minimum viably today. No, right? You're not in a minimum viable marriage. Then why you are building a minimum viable product? Make it with love, customer centric love and all. And if you are doing it with love, things will, change, and you will evolve your product sooner than later. You don't have to pivot at all. Like, don't believe in the philosophy of lifetime value. Build a lifetime relationship.
Okay.
So the things needs to be changed. Stop following the West. Build your own stuff with love from customer point of view, and then things and magic will happen. So if you are doing those kind of thing, and then you come to us for the investment, okay. And if we see that, okay, what you are building, you are conscious about the industry that you are building, you have a perfect background, then we can talk. Because at early stage, the valuation, the numbers, nothing matters. It's just that we back the founders, their background, their mindset, and those are the things that really matter.
So in the founders, you see the vision and you see that confidence to transform that particular sector and customer obsession, right?
Oh, absolutely. Customer obsession should be there from day zero. And now, I would rather ask founders to not to be visionary, be a better listener rather.
Listener.
Because if you listen to the customers from day one, you'll build your vision gradually.
Okay.
So the definition needs to be changed. That's my point.
Okay. Swapna, what's your view on this? What cues from the initial pitch by a founder, be it a man or a woman, what cues really make you believe that, yes, this is the venture which I want to go deeper into?
I think for me, more than I believing, does the founder themselves believe in what they're building? I think entrepreneurship is a very romantic concept, right? Let me become my own boss. The challenge is more often than not when people are building things, they themselves don't know what they're building, why they are building, and how large will it become. I've often seen founders often fizzle out because, to be fair, I mean, while we say Zepto could be the fastest example, but entrepreneurship really takes 15 years to build large companies. You have seen this Utkarsh with Flipkart, right? All companies take 15 to 20 years. The challenge is when you get into the romantic idea of, well, I'm passionate about it. Point is, do you really believe in it? And I think that is one parameter we always double click, triple click on. What is the founder's journey been till today, which is actually going to help this founder to survive next 15 years.
Okay, so that entire passion and belief in their own idea is what is very important. Millie, what do you say? What a CVC would see when they are evaluating a pitch? What cues?
So overall, one is, I don't know if something's wrong with me. I don't see gender. I can't see gender.
Absolutely.
So I don't care what gender you belong to, what community you come from tier 1, 2, 3, wherever you come from, whatever color you represent, it doesn't matter. What matters is what the two of them said is, do you have a vision? Are you in it for a quick buck? It's not going to happen. Go to a casino. Don't come and become an entrepreneur. Second is that, do you have the tenacity? Of course, you unravel it gradually, you'll get to know. But I think all of us sitting here have enough experience sometimes to, judge the individual characters of a founder or an entrepreneur, because your business will never go above for the initial few years, it will never go above the founders. So your founders have to be much higher than what even you're trying to build, till you reach a stage where, yes, brands have to outlive human beings. So it is a tricky, complex place, but the depth of it, and when you interact, so for us, before I've invested in a company or a founder, it's primarily a founder we've invested in because we've picked these companies at a very early stage. I get to know them close to a year before we've invested in them. So the process of getting to know a founder, I think at least I would spend a lot of time doing that beyond just the due diligence that we do officially. to somewhere get a sense, and things still go wrong. It's okay. This is, a risky space, and everybody is allowed to make mistakes and go wrong. But fundamentally, you really need to gauge that founder from multiple parameters. The product has to be genuine. There has to be a genuine story or a reason why you're coming in the space, because I'm sure everybody, all of us, the spaces we are investing in are cluttered, and there are too many products in the same space. So there has to be a very deep sense of what you're building to build a differentiator.
So I'll just add one question here to your point, which you said that you spend time to know the founders. But if you can just have 3 qualities, what do you see? Maybe your hunch or whatever that feeling is. But what is that 3?
So you're right. It's a hunch, because, and then I'll be honest. I backward integrate it with data. So to go to a board, we are a public listed company in India and UK. You can't take hunch, so I backward calculate it. But if I look for qualities, I would say authenticity. Most founders, when they're building these products, as Utkarsh was saying, probably somebody's told them you'll never succeed. This doesn't have a market. It doesn't have a market. Fit is different. It doesn't have a market. I'll tell you why. Because they're first movers. They have created the market. So all the companies that we've invested in were founders who were the first movers. So they are building those categories in the space. It's not a category that established at all. So they are against they have enough headwind, they don't have tailwind. So that would be another quality that one looks for. And I think somewhere you're resolved to say whether anybody comes or doesn't come, I will build this business. So I have actually the reason I meet them over a year is to see how they have survived that 1 or 1.5 year when nobody has believed in them. And then we go back and say, now, yeah, you've crossed
Let's
that
do
bridge.
this.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Agni Pariksha is over.
That is over. By then.
Okay. Utkarsh, what do you think? I will change the question for you because almost all qualities are taken. But what do you think that women founders, how they underestimate their tech advantage when they are pitching? Even though they are pretty good at that.
Yeah. So I'm a very brutally honest guy, so I'll probably may even sound apolitical or political, whatever you call it. Um, I think it's not about how we have experienced women tech founders, entrepreneurs. More or less, it's about the expectations that we have set around them, how we create pipeline, and how do we reinforce certain behavior. I have met very few women tech entrepreneurs, which is a sad state, and I would want more of the women here to step up a lot more. Um, there are 3 general qualities that I start with when I look at anyone, any idea. Uh, why this idea? Why now? And how it can have a compounding advantage later? And why you? Why me as an individual can bring certain wealth and integrate it to the idea? The good part is women, I've seen very few, but women, when I have seen them, 100% of the chance is the last part of the question, why me, is the most powerful story. I've not seen men navigate that question as powerfully as women do. Women, I believe, always are origin oriented. They have a huge bias around why am I doing it. There might be a background story, there is a conviction, there is a purpose, and I've always seen 100% of the scenarios. And for me, that's very, very powerful because you know why you are destined to take that journey forward. So that part is really great, right, for women tech entrepreneurs. They will lead you into the mission statement when you walk into the room. Where they can do better is to build the story and own the room and say that, I also have the tech talent to navigate it through. I don't need any complementing skill set. They might have the tech talent, but maybe some reinforcement somewhere in the ecosystem has tied them down, right? So they need to own their story. They need to expand the story to fill the room.
Okay.
Saying that, yes, it's not just the mission statement, it's just not me and my mission statement and the conviction around it. I'm also capable enough to deliver it. That second part sometimes is a bit mistimed.
Okay,
Just
so
to add to that, we used to run this program at Qualcomm called Qualcomm Women Entrepreneurs India Network, and Nida is here. She was part of the first cohort. And the reason I started that program is, Utkarsh, to your point, that women, when they come in with a lot of conviction. But I think the challenge with that is also women don't come in till they have full conviction. So what we realize is most women wouldn't even jump on into the entrepreneurship track. A man with a 10% idea, and no judgments here, will jump in. Let me go figure out, right? Women needs to make it to 90 to 95% to ensure it happens. So why we started is, okay, you don't know marketing, we will help you. You don't know finance, we will help you. You don't know this, we will help you. But just jump in. Just jump in, because all answers are not there on day one. To your point, they are more prepared because they only come in when they know everything.
Yeah, I think
Yes, so
just to sum it up, I've seen men to be a lot more hustler attributes, right? So they will hustle. What I feel women do better is they put heart into the hustle, right? So
Yeah.
if you combine that virtue of it, right? If you're putting heart into hustle and also believe that you can take it a long mile, I think women entrepreneurs can go really long.
So all women entrepreneurs should own their stories, take it up, and start quickly. Don't wait for the 100% things to come correct, right? Thank you. So the moving to this, as you said, Swapna, that you started this entire Quen program because you said, okay, we'll provide you accounting and all finance and all that support and start. So that's an ecosystem play. So you believe that ecosystem play can really help nurture a venture and a woman entrepreneur?
Yeah, no, and I think one analogy to look at this is I think all of us start up when we know there is a village backing us, right? Two or three founder teams who will start ups. Someone will know technology, someone will know business, someone will know probably know finance, right? I think the challenge with most women founders team, and I was telling this to Shraddha, is all of us in this room, right? When we think of starting up, how many school friends, college friends, or organization friends we can think we can start off? Because along the journey, most women fall away from the funnel. At some point in their career, they decide, not for me, not for me, not for me, not for me, not for me. So by the time when you are 40, 45, 50, 35, whatever age, and say, let me start up, and you start looking at your Rolodex, there's no one. While men start looking, they have like 10 people they call, acha tu aega, acha tu aega, acha tu aega, and there is a team in place. Right? So I think ecosystem play hence becomes important, because if you can't create a village, maybe there is a village you can have access to and use that to enable yourself.
Absolutely. Millie, what is your perspective on corporate venture capitalists? What kind of ecosystem they can provide to entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs in your industry?
Would love to invite you for our next, gathering, which should be soon in Goa. That's where our industry at least hails from. From an ecosystem perspective, see, as a corporate venture fund, the value in terms of services and support that we bring in, and if we calculate the monetary value of it, is far bigger than the actual funding that we give them. So for us, it's not only about the money that we've given, because our agenda is to grow these businesses to a size where we can acquire it. In fact, our first acquisition through this route just happened in June, where we picked up a company, we entered into the minority stake, and we grew it to a size where we could acquire it. So for us, a lot of value we provide. We give them free lab services. Labs are very expensive in our industry. We've opened our labs to them, including our technical teams, the liquid scientists that are there. So even companies we never invested in, a lot of women came as a part. As I said, sorry, I don't have a count of how many men and women have walked in. But irrespective of gender, a lot of young girls now are getting into the industry and making beverages. So our labs are open. Our manufacturing houses, we are shifting. A lot of them wanted us to give them manufacturing spaces. We reconstructed or redesigned our policies, because large companies don't take outsiders in. But this was to build the ecosystem and encourage more players to come in. Our industry is slightly more complex. It's a state subject. So if a particular entrepreneur is stuck in a certain stage and they don't know how to navigate that market, experts in our industry come in and just help them with some perspective. So specialized advisory services, manufacturing services, go to market kind of, not support directly through our distribution network, but how they should manage it. Our labs and our scientists, they are very approachable, and we've opened it to all of them. So that's how at least we are building the ecosystem.
So you are also creating a village, the way Swapna mentioned, right?
Ah,
A village
yes.
is backing the founders, right?
Hopefully.
So moving to the next point, women actually perform very well if they are supported by women, and we don't see many investors ecosystem having women in the leadership role. And Swapna, your organization Avana Capital is one great example and a big exception. I see a lot of leaders in the Avana's partners level. So, what is your view on this point? That does it matter to women founders to
I,
see a similar face on the opposite side?
I often joke we had to make our own investment firm because no one gave us jobs. It's a boys' club. No, but the reality is, I think Millie made a very good point, right? I don't have the count of number of men and women that walked into the room. It's a black box. You are behind the black box. I am a capitalist by my name. I have to make money. Men, women, doesn't matter. Just return me money. Will be 100x. I think that's where we need to make it, right? But I think what does happen is the comfort of walking into the room changes. So, to take an example, women founder, like I said, not confident, not 100% there, cold mail, maybe has more comfort emailing us because they see two women on the other side and feel maybe they will understand it better. Maybe it's okay to be 90% and not 100%. I do feel, because I talk to a lot of other people in the industry, and they say your portfolio out of 15, you already have 3 women or 4 women founders, and all of them are stellar founders. We don't get so many. Point is, those women founders never even emailed them.
Okay, so they also feel comfortable talking to women investors. What is your view on this? Your experience, because you mentioned you have 40% of your portfolio companies are women.
Yeah, 41% of the portfolio founder. But I think women will do much better when it comes to being on the other side of the table, rather than being an entrepreneur, rather being a funder, basically investor. Because women are good with at least money. You know, they cannot lose money very easily. That I can 100% say, right? Mom has been very tight in giving us the pocket money. My wife has been very tight. Okay, I need to do the FDs rather than do. So I think women can do very well when it comes to funding the money. And then if you see the DNA, men's are very logical, women's are very emotional, and we need the emotions before we put our money into someone else's capital. Like come as a capital as an investor to someone's, in the startups and all. So I think women can do wonders when it comes to investment, and we need a lot of women funder than the founders as well at the same time, and probably that will attract a lot of women entrepreneurs as well. So it's the other way around journey. You know, we keep talking about women entrepreneurs and women entrepreneurs. I think we should keep talking about
Women investors.
women in the funds, women in VCs as well. And
Yeah.
you never know. You start as an investor. By times, I think we reach to a level that okay, it's enough of the diligence. Let's go back to the operator role. So maybe you can go back to the entrepreneurship journey from there. So this two-way around. Being your face on the investment side will attract a lot of women entrepreneurship, and maybe you go and then build another unicorn as well. So I believe women will do wonders.
Great. Utkarsh, I will flip the question again for you. Yeah, I would like to leverage your tech knowledge and expertise, and I want to understand that all AI and deep tech startups, what's your quick test to identify it's a buzzword or it's a real deep tech innovation?
Yeah, I think it's very, very easy today for anyone to prepare a pitch using ChatGPT, and in very layman terms, they'll say, I've seen investors say that Malai market chale jate hain. What is Malai? MLAI, right? It's MLAI written all over in the deck. So I think for me, the quick test is I want the person on the other side to explain to me at what layer are you going to disrupt. It could be just the power of data that you have. Is it a systems, algorithms? Where is it? It cannot be that underlying it's all LLMs, chat GPTs, and you're putting out very flimsy, thin layers on top of it and say there's a value add. Yeah. It can have a very short-term value add, but it cannot have a disproportionate compounding impact later on. So it has to start by characterizing where are you creating an impact, and then that's the foot in the door for me. And then I follow it up by saying that, okay, what's the vision behind it? Do you have a foresight as to where will it compound? Because the world is changing fast, right? It's not just technical depth and technical landscape around us, but also, like I said, the behavioral elements around us are changing. So you need to have a visionary foresight kind of an outlook. And finally, I would also want to have one more trait, which is humility and flexibility to adapt when it comes to it. In 6 months, something would have changed and made your idea moot, dumb. At that point of time, you should be humble enough saying that I started on a wrong foot, but I have the technical capability. I also am a visionary. Let me reimagine, reforecast, and pivot and start again. So if I can do all of these three things, then I will bet on that idea.
Interesting. So I think this should definitely help people who are planning to build in deep tech area. So it's time for some fun. Let's do a rapid fire round. And I guess serious business investors also like fun, right? So let's start that. I'll ask a question without thinking, just one word answer. And each one of you, we can start first in this order and then in this order, right? So my first question from Utkarsh. One word that describes a great founder. That describes a great founder.
For me, it's visionary.
Visionary.
Rule breakers.
Ambitious.
Resilient.
Visionary. But that is taken. But you are on that, right?
Uh,
Oh, not thinking aloud. It's okay. We start with next question from you. One word that makes you say yes to a pitch instantly.
say yes to the pitch. I mean, your aggression and
Aggression.
how customer love centric, as I mentioned. Yeah.
Okay. So now,
I would say returns.
sorry.
Returns.
Returns. Investor speaking.
Authenticity in product.
Authenticity.
Why me?
Okay. And one word that makes you say no instantly.
For me, it's easy to catch when it's all ChatGPT language.
One word. One word.
Market insights, not your own insights.
Okay, Millie.
So before I say a no, I ask them which side of the bed did you wake up on today? And that's how you decide what business you're going to do. That's how entrepreneurs are walking in, by the way, in VC houses.
Okay.
Longish answer.
I think very similar, but jargons. Too many jargons without content.
Okay. It's all gas.
If you're not a great narrative or a storyteller, probably it's a no for us. You need
Okay.
to be a great narrative,
One word.
non-storyteller.
Okay. Okay. A tech trend founders should stop chasing. A tech trend founders should stop chasing.
I mean, following the crowd.
Okay.
You need to go the other way around.
Okay. And will you back them?
Yeah, I mean, if you are building in a blue ocean, why not?
Okay. Swapna?
You should stop chasing. I think at this point, biotech.
Biotech? Okay.
I think they should stop chasing valuation over value.
Okay.
That's it. Stop chasing just AIML.
Sorry?
AIML.
Okay. Great. One product metric you secretly obsess over.
ROI to customer.
ROI to customer.
For us, is taste.
Taste.
What's the question?
A product metric you secretly obsess over. Platform product.
I think it depends on the product, but I would say customer NPS score or whatever
NPS.
customer success looks like.
Okay.
And the retention, basically.
Sorry?
Customer retention.
Customer retention. Okay. To you, data or intuition? What works the best for you?
Intuition.
Intuition.
Intuition's backed by data, by the way. Because
So one word is intuition.
Yeah, I'm early stage. It's all gut at that point of time.
Intuition.
It's intuition, and then I backward work it out for my board, because board will not allow me to make an investment on intuition.
But you start with intuition.
Yeah, and then
not
I
with
work
data.
it backwards, by the
Okay.
way. I collect data too.
Okay.
Intuition to start with, validated by data later.
So my panel agrees to this point. It's always intuition backed by data. Okay, great. Okay, what's one thing founders should always do in the first 30 seconds of pitching?
I think we played around at what authenticity. It's your own narrative that should comes out. The first narrative should be your own narrative.
Own narratives.
I think what your For us, very often it's not clear what the product is.
Okay.
So just make it very clear in the first 30 seconds, what is your product?
Okay. Product narrative very fast and easy.
Very fast, and what's the value it's bringing to the table?
Okay.
I think very similar, but what, why now, and why you?
In 30 seconds. Okay. Wow.
Because we are a sector agnostic fund, so what we expect in first 30 seconds, help us understand the product, make us aware, educate us, because we are dumb people. We don't know biotech, but we still invest in biotech. So we want founders to be aware what they are building and be honest and authenticity, what Millie has been saying.
Okay.
And the core thing is good storyteller. The narrative should be right.
Okay, and I really can't resist asking this question when I have investors here. One deal which you regret not taking? One deal which you regret not backing?
Great, not backing. It was OpenAI basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Came way before it actually started in the US side.
Okay.
Too many, actually. I think just to say VC is the only job which pays you to make mistakes, but one mistake can cost you entire fund. So I think we looked at Ather. We said India EV will never happen. We looked at Swiggy. We said India food delivery will never happen. And 10 years now we are sitting and saying, well, we were all wrong.
Okay. Millie?
So, without naming companies, there's a company that, when I present and the company gets rejected, it's fundamentally I get rejected by my board. But it's going IPO this year. So, this year, as in, 26. So, I really regret that I got rejected.
Mine will be slightly 10-second answer. No regrets, and that's a big regret for me because I'm more of a techie. I have not seen any great tech foundational companies come out of India. So no deal breakers yet. I want to see more of those come out, and hence maybe in 2 years down the line, if you say, I'll say, okay, out of these 10, this was the one deal that I regret not being part of.
So to that future, yes. With that, this panel comes to an end, but it was an amazing discussing and understanding your mindset as an investor. And I hope the listeners out here, women founders and aspiring founders, have got some value add, and you decide to now take on the entrepreneurship journey and own your story. So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, dear panelists. Request you to stay on stage. I will also request Dr. Shraddha to please give the mementos away to our panelists. And I'll request Fincy to please hand it over to Dr. Shraddha after. Sadly, we couldn't have any question answers, but do feel free to take time up with the panelists once they get off stage. All right. A quick group picture, and then we can have the next panel up.